and sing and celebrate. This is the rhythm of change. This is the sound of redemption. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Igniting the fire within you, exalting the melody of freedom. These are the things that will bring it down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Tell
tell you, it's in the air. Joy is in the air. Love is in the air. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Don't sleep on it, brother. You might get left, sister. Can you feel it? What it feel like? Freedom. What it feel like? Justice. No need to be counted, cause I am down. Down, down, down. Down, down, down. Down for the end of racism, for the end of bigotry, cause I am down. For the end of misogyny, that's right. For all the isms out there, just down, down, down. Let's bring it down. Rise up, people. No more foolishness, and let's bring it way down.
Riding the river of change into the cries of contrition. This is the way that we bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. We are the children of Eden, dancing and celebrating freedom. We are the ones that must bring it down. Down, down, 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 down. So gather the faithful. Tell everyone to stand and shout loud. Shout loud. Shout loud. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down, down. Let's bring it down. Let's bring it way down. Let's bring it down. We've got to bring it down. Down. Stand up and shout. Stand up and shout. Rise together.
Accountability starts now. The Eric Dawson Radio Show.
Yeah. Rise up. Stand up, shouting loud.
If you are not prepared to come to that table and to represent that voice, don't come. Because we don't need any more brown faces that don't want to be a brown voice. We don't need black faces that don't want to be a black voice. We don't need Muslims that don't want to be a Muslim voice. We don't need queers that don't want to be a queer voice. And if you're worried about being marginalized and stereotyped, please don't even show up.
Good morning, everybody. I guess the question is, are you ready to be that voice? Right? That's the question when you listen to Representative Ayanna Pressley. Are you ready to be that voice? And are you ready to suffer the slings and arrows? Right? To be that voice. Not a lot of people are. Not a lot of people have the fortitude to do that, right? They talk a big game, but they can't walk that walk. And we give people passes for not walking the walk, right? We don't hold them accountable, right, from what they say and then what they do. We somehow excuse it all away, which is part of the challenge. Anyway, welcome. This is what's it? Day 2 post the insurrection. Right? You can crawl out of your bunker and dust yourself off, right? You can unload your pistol. No, don't unload the pistol. Keep that loaded. Keep that loaded.
You can take it off your shoulder.
Yeah, nah, you know what? You don't even want to do that, Vince. Don't want to relax. Don't want to, because they're not relaxing. They're retooling, they're rearming, right? And they're re-energizing. So, got to stay on guard. Anyway, welcome Diane and Vincent. How you guys doing today? Friday. Happy Friday.
I thought it was Thursday, so I missed my exercise workout this morning. Don't ask me how I thought it was
You
Thursday.
got your hair done on Thursday, Diane.
Huh?
Thursday's your hair doing day.
I know, but I don't know how I missed it, but I did. I think I'm gonna tell you. I don't know. I just missed it. COVID makes the days run together. But do you sometimes feel? I'm reading a book by Walter Mosley. I love Walter Mosley, and the book is. And we got to talk about our next book because you mentioned that yesterday at the end of the show about the next book and where what our due date is going to be. But the book I'm reading right now from Walter Mosley is called The Book of Harlan. And it's a fictional book, but he goes through various different time frames for this particular guy, Harlan, when he's a black jazz trumpeter. He was in Paris when Hitler came in. He got snatched up by Hitler. He was in a concentration camp for 5 years till America came in and rescued them. And, so it's various different things. But he had a friend who was also a trumpeter that portrayed himself to be black, even though he wasn't black. He was Jewish. And he ended up getting killed in the concentration camp because he was in the shower one day. The soldier came in. He realized he was circumcised. And then he marked him. But the question that I wanted to ask you is, are you sometimes tired of being black? Like, is it just like too much of a fight? Like every day we wake up, there's always something that we have to protect ourselves from and be fearful of. If it's not them overtaking the White House, if it's them not snatching the iPhone from our kids, if it's them not accusing us of being walking our dogs when we shouldn't be, or accusing us of egregious stuff like rape in Central Park. Like, is it not tiring and draining? And sometimes you just want to say, I want to be somebody else. I want to not be black. I want to be white. If I was light enough, I would pass for white and just keep it moving and walk away from all of this.
So, no, I never not want to be black. I just don't want to, suffer the injustices, right? Um, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm tired of that. I'm not tired of being black. But I think that is, when we talk about the condition, the mental condition of Black Americans, like I said, you got to understand, Diane, 400 years, 400 years, right? Just one more year of battling and fighting and fighting. And so it does wear you down. And that's their intent, to just keep wearing you down, to get you doubting and fighting against one another and, questioning and, all those things. But, and to lose remembrance, right, of your lineage. So it's funny when black folks say, we are descendants of kings and queens, and princes. Um, they say it, but they don't really internalize that, right? Because if you internalize it, then no, you're never tired of being black. You understand what I'm saying? You just got to get back to, what did you remember Lion King when Simba was lost, right? And then he saw the vision of Mufasa, and Mufasa said, "What? Remember who you are." And so we have to get back to that remembrance. But like we were talking about prior to the show, like that has to happen through um, education, right? But when we are willing to only accept and rejoice that they'll give us a watered down 1 month out of the year, right? Then it just feeds into the narrative that we're marginal people. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you believe what I just said, that we have to embrace where we come from. And it's changing language from slaves to enslaved. See, because we weren't born slaves, but people say slave. No, 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 no. Free and enslaved. And that narrative now, you know, requires a more exhaustive conversation. But when you just say slaves, and it just kind of ends there, right? Because that's kind of who you are. So we have to get back, we have to get to that. And we have to fight to get to it. Because on the other side, they're fighting to keep us from it. Yes.
No, I'm listening. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm listening. It's tyrant, and the reason why I brought that up is we would. What was it? Just the day that it happened. The day that all of this was, the insertion was happening. And my husband, I said something to my husband, and he was like, "You just don't understand, as a black man, the constant, pain that you watch, and you see how the white privilege, treat other people, and how we could be just doing the same exact thing when Black Lives Matters marches were happening, protested." He said, and there would have been dead bodies on that lawn. He said, and shooting us down from climbing up on anything, let alone breaking in anything.
Yeah.
Just the disregard of, because of color, of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That people just don't have humanity. And then I've seen some white people on my page say, we just want this to end. We want it to go back. We just want people not to look at color, blah, blah, blah. Well, this is some crap that y'all started.
No. Wait. See, but stop. See, we gotta. When somebody says go back, you have to pause them. And you say back to where?
Go back to this mess.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So we gotta
quiet. That's what it is.
What?
They want it to be quiet again. They want it to be the racism to be down under, not the main topic, not something we have to talk about. Because all of this talking about black killings, and when I go back to reference in the book by Walter Mosley, he went as far, the transition of the time that he went over, he even went into Newark when the Newark cab driver was killed and the riots happened in Newark. So it's not like we are new to this. This has been continuously happening, and because of different platforms and media sources, it's being broadcast more than ever before. They want to go back to when it was quiet.
Right. They want to go back to where they want to go back to a time where America was less conscious about what's going on, where there was less discussion about what was going on, right? They want to go back to feeling comfortable in their white privilege, right? Without, being challenged about it, right? Why can't I just go on living my life, right? Disregarding and marginalizing you. Why can't I just go back to the good old days where we could stereotype and we can disenfranchise? Why can't I just go back to the good old days where we could redline why can't we just do that? Like why do you have to make such a big fuss over the fact that Coach, wanted to come out with these keychains that degraded black people? Why are you all making so much noise?
If I could answer the question, first I love Walter Mosley. The Devil in the Blue Dress was one of my favorite books.
Oh, is it mine too? Oh God,
yeah.
Stop it, Vincent.
But to go back to the question, no. I enjoy being a black man. I enjoy being black because it's what God made me. And I enjoy the wonderful things in being black. The creativity, the strength and endurance, the intelligence, the way that we think faster and move faster than a lot of our counterparts. Our fluidness in terms of speech and language and hip-hop and scat and jazz. Our creativity to make beautiful things out of art and literature. I mean, I love being a black man. What I don't like is a lot of what Eric talked about. I don't like the fact that, there has been so many incidents that sometimes I can be insensitive to it because I just get so exhausted with consistently fighting. I get and don't like consistently wearing that armor of, you know what, I'm a black man and I'm ready to fight. So please don't disrespect my blackness. You know, and then there are people who are in position and power who can do things like take you out of an expensive vehicle because you're a black man and because they're a white man with a gun, and put you on your knees in the middle of the street. I don't like the simple fact that, you know, white people want to go back to the matrix. No, COVID-19 has been the greatest unplugging and exodus of the matrix that our country has ever had. There is no going back. There is no going back. We're building this back better. We're building this back with a level of equality. We're building this back with a level of inclusion that our grandparents have fought, died, and dreamed of. And no, we are not going back.
See, and again, I always pause. So they say, um, if you don't study history, you're doomed to repeat it, right? So the idea of not going back means that we have to be forceful in educating. But if we're not doing that, see, I'm always about the key performance indicators. So when you say we're not going back, I'm saying right now, the corporation of white supremacy, right now, because kids are learning today, right now, as we're doing this show, they're being indoctrinated to go back. So when you say we're not going back, I'm saying, what are we doing to attack the pillars, the very pillars of this country that are hell bent on sending us back? And I'm saying, we're not. We're not attacking them. We're willfully sending our kids into these death camps called schools. We're willfully doing that, right? So I will be I will be more optimistic when I see an look, the same way those folks attacked the Capitol, right, is a way that we ought to be attacking the school system. Now, I'm not saying go in and break glass and do all that kind of stuff, sitting in the principal's desk with your feet up, and I'm not talking about that. What I am saying is that we need to we need to storm those schools. We need to storm the Board of Education meetings, and we need to demand, right? We need to boycott. We need to pull all our kids out and say they're not going back to these schools until you remove these racist books. Do that. Mm-hmm. We could do that. So when people say, well, what's next? I'm saying do that. Who disagrees with that? Because whoever disagrees with that, get the F off the island. Right? And so now, let's see, we have to find common ground. Right, but we're like the Bad News Bears.
My favorite movie.
Right, but we're like the Bad News Bears. We can't even agree on a play.
Look, we got the drunk coach who is our president.
Yes, we got it. You know what I'm saying, Diane? We ain't got no chin straps. Half of us ain't got no helmets. You know what I mean? We got one cleat, one sneaker. Some got one cleat, one stiletto. You know what I mean? We trying to figure out how to score a touchdown, and we can't agree on a play. So I'm saying, look, can we? Well, and not only that, we can't even agree to the sport that we're playing. I just said touchdown. Some people talking about a basket. Some talking about a hockey goal. Some are talking. You know what I mean? So we got to understand what stadium we're in, what game we're playing. Right? Then we have to agree on a goal, right? And then we have to call the play to execute. And I'm saying, look, move the chains. That's what they say in football, right? Don't worry about the touchdown. It'll come if you move the chains. Right? If you just keep moving the chains down the field, the touchdown will come. So part of getting to where I think we want to be, right, is and not in its totality of where we want to be, but we don't want to be where we are now. We could agree to that. And part of moving from where we are now, I'm asking again, can we all agree that where we are now in part because of ignorance, right?
Yeah.
And it's not happenstance. It's directed and intentional. And so now let's push back against that. And let's start in the schools.
Well, yeah, that is the next start since we've already removed some of the monuments that support slavery, white supremacy,
I don't think the
white
monuments,
empowerment.
but Vincent, I don't think the monuments represent anything more than just being a statue. I don't think people are walking past these statues and saying, "Oh my God, this is X, Y, and Z."
That's right. That's
They
absolutely right.
bring much value to our community.
Well,
Even though it's visual and they see it all the time, I don't think they're really paying attention to it so much in their subconscious or not to see that it makes it there's any
A revelation.
well, let me ask this: have you been to Washington D.C. and saw the monument of Reverend Dr. King?
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel?
But, but see, this is what I'm saying. You're talking about statues that have been standing for hundreds of years, as opposed to a new statue that was put up there. There's a difference on how people see those things. Now, we museums to see old stuff, to learn about history and stuff like that. But to walk past and even to go to the Lincoln Memorial, when I went to D.C. to walk up the steps to see that, I wasn't fascinated by that. I didn't think anything by it. I just looked around and said, "Oh, okay, this is cool. It's old." I didn't see any relevance between Abraham Lincoln and myself and anybody of the people walking around me to say, "Oh, we came here because this is the person who did X, Y, Z and set the slaves free." I didn't see or feel any of that, and I don't even think anybody else could say that.
So here's where I am with the statues. I think that we can do the I don't mind. I don't mind removing this. I don't mind keeping the statues. Just tell the truth about them. So if you're gonna have the statue of Columbus, tell the truth about Columbus.
He was a slave trader.
Right. So you don't glorify him in the statue. Leave the statue there because it's part of the fabric of this country, right? So tell the truth about him.
But that is the point of the statue. It is to glorify the particular subject. So removing them takes away the glory and the lies that people have believed.
No, but I'm saying I don't want to, but I don't want to sweep it under the rug. Leave the statue and talk about him. And so you can go and point to that statue and go, "That was that MFer who did that."
Well, that's what we say when we go by it.
No, I'm not talking about we. I'm talking about we as a collective, as a society, right? That we need to be pushing.
Exactly, but that's not what society as a collective say about that.
Right. So when you say tear the statue down, right? Tearing it down. Okay. Go ahead, Vincent.
Tear those mofos down was a great first step. The next step is let's embrace the 1619 project and make sure that it is every day in the school curriculum.
Right.
Okay, so let's stop right there. They took the statues down. What did it do?
Nothing.
Well, what it does.
No, not what it does, what it could do, what the potential is. What did it do?
Okay, what it did is remove that constant visual reminder of the degradation that our people have had under the rules of that particular person.
Okay. So look, all right. I don't think it did that. I think that if you took most people by these statues, if you go into Philadelphia, you go into the parks and you see these statues, you ask, look, most people don't know who the frickin' president is. They don't know who their congressman is. They don't know who their senator is. And so to believe that they know what that statue is, I mean, come on, let us be truthful about this. I remember watching, when Jay Leno used to do whatever that segment was on his show where they would go and ask people on the sidewalk different questions. It was astonishing to realize how ignorant folks are. Right. So I'm saying, so for you to believe, watching that but those same people, they are clear about who this statue is. And it was so offensive to them that it needs to be removed. I'm saying that's not true. I'm saying...
Eric, if it was not so clear about how offensive those statues were to people, Why did they actually protest to have them removed?
I'm going to tell you why. It was maximum sophisticated confusion. They said, you know what? We're going to give these few people who are making all of this noise something before they gen up a whole bunch of other people, right? So so this movement is starting, right? So what we do to quail it, to calm it down, is we throw them a bone. So go ahead and take the statue down. Now the statue is down, and so to Diane's question, nothing's changed. Right? And how do we know? No, wait a minute, Vincent. Know how we know nothing's changed? Because they freaking stormed Washington. Now the statues are down. But those same people who were fighting to keep those statues up stormed the Capitol. So it didn't change anything.
So that shows change. No. See, the statue was down, but the people who stormed the Capitol were not the people who protested about the statues. The people who stormed the Capitol were storming the Capitol because of the simple fact that people are now raising their voices to have the monuments of their heroes, the liars of their history, removed. The people stormed the Capitol because they saw that with the election and the other election, with now the Democrats controlling the Senate and the House and a Democratic president, that they now see their white privilege disappearing. The people stormed that because they do not want change and they want to put everybody back into the matrix.
Vincent. Okay.
Yes?
Okay. All right. I can't. We go down these hills. So I believe that that removing those statues, it aids in not having the conversation about that part of America that I think we have to have. And if we had the honest conversation about it, I mean, think about it. Think about if all those statues that they have removed and the ones that they want to remove, if those statues were all there and in our faces, but everybody had a clear understanding of what those statues meant. Everybody. And who those people were and what they did. It would be a constant reminder. And so we wouldn't be living in this space where, you had former Councilman Ron Rice yesterday talk about, what was the word he used when he described America? Exceptional. See, you wouldn't have that. Nobody would be saying that because you would be walking around. How the frick could it be exceptional? Look at that. How could you say that? Look at that. And it would just be this constant reminder. And so if we're really trying to get to a place of reaching the ideals of America, we have to walk through the shadows, the valley of death. We got to walk through that. But we want to elevate ourselves and we want to sweep it under the rug. And then we want to try to just move on and talk about 1619. But you can't talk about 1619 without counterbalancing it with this stuff. How do you do that? How do you talk about 1619? How do you talk about the brutal treatment of Black Americans here? How do you talk about the brutal treatment and murder and genocide of the indigenous people of America without having that horrible symbol up there? I say leave it up.
I think we should take a page from Mitt Romney. Tell him the truth. And it's going to hurt. But after it hurts, there comes the healing. It comes the understanding of a wrong. And it comes the realization that those things should not be repeated.
Yeah, see, those things don't just come, right? They don't. They come through. They come by way of education. They come by way of therapy. They come by way of, they don't just come.
Well,
work is involved.
Right. They don't come easy. But the thing is, they come. They don't all come together at the same time, but they come.
And sometimes they don't come.
And
Right.
there are some people who are still in a sense of denial. They want to be back in the matrix because there they were powerful. There they had privilege. There they were above another group of people.
So
And you-
speaking, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Speaking about being above a group of people, did you happen to watch Channel 2 this morning? Gayle King interviewed, forgot the woman's name, 22-year-old white woman who accused a teenager of stealing her cell phone and then assaulted him by tackling him in the lobby of the hotel.
I missed that interview.
Yeah,
How
there
did
was
it go?
so there was she had an exclusive interview with the young lady, and it just showed like the disdain that she had about being questioned about a couple things. Questions about the manner in which she apologized. And I always say this, your apology is not for you. Your apology is for somebody else. So you wronged them. And the apology is to make them whole, give them a sense of being whole, right? Because you violated them. And so if you apologize and the person or the people don't feel it, and then they express to you that they don't feel it, and you go, well, I did it, and you got to take that. Then there was no real attrition, right? Because you didn't really see the pain or the hurt that you caused. Because if you did see it and you came to the altar to apologize, you would do whatever you needed to do to reverse that.
You would repair them.
You would repair them. But she didn't come on there to repair anything but her reputation, right? Because she's getting dogged out now and will continue to get dogged out, right? I mean, this is just this is the world we live in with social media. Those memes, those videos, they're never going away. They will live in infamy. Right, forever, right? As well as her being charged criminally, right, for assaulting him. But Gayle asked her if she understood what she did and if she was sorry and why she did it, why she chose him. And then she lied. And then she lied and she first said, well, I was asking everybody who came. So Gayle said, wait a minute. So I want to get this clear. And I'm not a Gayle King fan, but in this interview, I thought she did an exceptional job. She said, let me get this clear. You asked everybody, right? And so then the girl backtracked, right? Because she didn't. She just asked him. So she lied. Then Gayle kept pressing her, and the girl, she hand gestured to Gayle like by putting her hand up, and then like whatever that movement is where they kind of like just kind of snatch. I guess they're snatching your breath away from you, telling you stop, just be quiet. And so she did that, and then the girl's lawyer kind of like whispered like, don't do that. Like that's not a good look. And so Gayle said, I don't think that you're doing yourself any good here. And then Gayle says, there's more. Gayle says, you actually, she says, the video here, can you see it? It shows you tackling him.
Oh my God.
There's a video.
Like, yeah, I saw it, but like, how do you explain that?
No, so this is what I'm saying. So there was no, I want to say I'm really sorry. I mean, I overreacted, and you know what? I did show bias, and I showed prejudice, and I need to work on that, right? I need to pray through that, and I understand the macroaggressions that Black folks feel, and I contributed to that with this young man and his father, and for all of the people who saw it, I just kind of fed into that narrative, and none of that. You know what she said? She said, well, his father grabbed me and dragged me across the floor. So
should have.
So then Gayle said,
you attacked my son. You should be glad. If it was me, you should have been glad I didn't stop her.
yeah. So
Exactly.
yeah.
As he should have as a parent.
So the
Thank you.
question that Gail didn't ask is, what should the father have done when he saw his son under assault? See, that's the question that I would have asked that next question, right? Let her answer that. Because she thought his actions were inappropriate. So I would want to know, well, what are the appropriate actions when you see an adult? Because the woman is 22, she's an adult. You see an adult attack a minor. What should the parent do? See, that's the question so any of you interviewers, if you get her on your show, ask her that question. Say, when you were on Gail's show, you thought that the behavior of the father in protecting his son was above and beyond what he should have done, right? You thought it was inappropriate. What do you think would have been the appropriate course of action when he saw his son being tackled by an adult woman?
Jeez Louise. Explain that. She just said, honestly, and this is where they always mess up. Every single criminal, every single guilty person, they start doing these interviews. Keep your damn mouth shut. Stop running to TV to try to explain the BS that you know you're guilty of, unless you're coming forward to say, I was wrong. I was wrong. I overreacted. I was in the moment. This is what happened. I didn't see it as I was attacking a black kid. I saw it as I was attacking somebody that stole something from me. I wasn't thinking about that he was black or the repercussions or that I was a white woman, any of that. Instead of just saying, I was wrong. I reacted. I was frantic. And this is why I was frantic, and I was wrong.
Diane, no. See, because...
Go ahead.
Well, Diane, I agree with you, and I am so sick and tired, as Jada Pinkett Smith's mother said to the other white privileged child who got up there, look, I'm tired of y'all white people exercising y'all privilege and then coming on black media with your disingenuous apologies.
Because they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
As soon as they know that their attorney has recommended to them to go to these black people to get acceptance and to get to be brought back into the fold, so we can love you and throw you in our bosom and say it's okay, Massa.
Because we the forgiving people.
As soon as they realize that, they know they have white privilege, and that's when they should exactly come out and say, I was wrong. I effed up. I effed up. It happens to a lot of people. I effed up because of the stuff I see on TV, and this is what I think that people are portraying like. I effed up. I did not know until I was in the situation that I would react this way.
Sister.
It's better that way if you tell the truth, because all you're doing is.
But Diane, but understand.
We know.
But they're not interested. But they're not interested in. See, it's like the criminal who gets caught and apologizes. And we always say, did you apologize because you were wrong, or you apologizing because you got caught? Right?
Because they got caught.
Because if you're apologizing because you got caught, then you're not looking to reform. Right? So these people who show up aren't looking to reform. Right? And so, as a result, they're looking simply to be blackwashed, right, and hopefully forgiven in the moment to continue their normal lives.
Right. It's yeah. It's I mean, I don't know any other way to explain it except to say that white people, y'all need to watch out. And y'all need to stop on the egregious, racist things that you do. And then turn around and think that an apology is going to wash over everything and will be okay. Or the other thing I've seen them do is, I'm going to donate to an organization. That's more of a smack in the face than anything else.
And Al Sharpton, could you say a word for me?
Oh,
only if you pay him.
because he don't come out for free. Look, he lost that momentum when he lost that weight. That don't happen no
more. or the true definition of force equals mass times acceleration.
I don't know.
But I am tired of white privilege and then going on the media, especially black media. They pick the blackest person that they can get that day because they believe that, black people are watching them. And they do these little insincere, very disingenuous apologies. Like we're supposed to accept that. No more. We're not going back.
White media uses these black people on these platforms to allow these white people to come to apologize. Because a real black person would be like, no, chick, you know you wrong. You did X, Y, and Z. Stop playing. Tell the truth.
Well, let's look at it.
Did and move on. That's all you can do because they don't. I don't think they have the word repair in their definition or dictionary in their mind. They're not trying to repair anything. They're just trying to get over and move on with their lives because they feel though they have that concept of I'll apologize and then it'll wash me clean and I can sleep better at night and I'm good because I apologize. So now it's up to the other person to decide if they want to forgive me or not. That's on them, but I released it. And that's how it works.
Oh, yeah, and then they talk about how their grandmother, was in the Civil Rights March. And I got black friends.
Oh yeah, I got black friends. And I voted for Obama.
Eric and Vincent, I don't know how crazy that is because I've said to my daughter, well, I got white friends. What does that mean? I don't understand. And then my daughter challenges me. Who are they? What are their names?
But you know what though? But that is true, right? Because if your black friend is Candace Owens, right? Yeah.
Once a month you go to Clarence Thomas' house for dinner.
Yeah. Or the guy who the one black guy, the sole black guy who was at the Capitol, right? That picture of him. Yeah. Is it whose friend is he?
Being both on the black and white side should probably stop saying that and just, I don't know, just not say it. It's probably not the best representation of saying that we're connected to somebody else's culture because we really don't understand because we're stupid enough to say that. I guess I will stop saying I have white friends. I will just say I'm friends with Mindy, which I am. It is what it is.
Well, I think that when you say so, there is some context to be had when you say that, you have, friends outside of, outside of whatever your particular, group is, and that is that you are open, right? That you're open. You're not insular.
Right.
Now, how open, right? Because now the only thing is when the person says, "Well, I have black friends," they're trying to give you the impression that they're all the way open, and that's not the case, right? Only to the degree that those black people who you have in your circle, are whatever. But there's some other black people who are not in your circle, right? And we're not monolithic, and neither is anybody else, right? So these people say, "Yo, I got black friends." And my question would be, how many Black Panther friends do you have? Right? How many Muslim friends do you have? How many? So you go down a list of. Let's talk about these black friends. How many former gang member black friends do you have? Right? How many? See, because we're not monolithic. We have a lot. There's a lot in there. So don't just say I got black friends. And same thing with white. How many white friends do you have, who come from trailer parks? Yeah, families come from trailer parks, right? How many, you understand what I'm saying? So, because the thought then is if I got white friends, all white people are affluent. And no, a lot of them, right? And we've gone through some of those statistics about welfare and all kinds of other things, right? White folks outnumber, but so what range of white friends do you have, or anybody else, for that matter? Anyway, that young lady, I hope that they tar and feather her. I hope that they tar and feather her. We should, you know,
Gracious.
we should give her a day.
Hold
On
up.
that day every year, we should repost.
Repost her stuff and all the other what is it, Karens out there.
Yeah. Well, not only those, right? Even remember the guy, the video, and I tell you, Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, but the internet, man, is is the champion. They never lose.
It
Never die.
They never. The internet wins always. The white guy who was in that Quick Check or whatever the store was and kept calling that guy the N word. Right? He said, smack me. He said, smack me. And my man took
Where you from,
what looked like an Arizona iced tea can, man, and just walloped him. So we should get.
But here's the thing. The girl holding the camera said, and he should have seen this. Oh, he about to hit him with that.
Yeah. But did you guys see the montage where they put it to music?
No, I missed that
Oh,
one.
I'm gonna send that to you. I posted it on my page. It is hilarious. But we should take that day, and every year on that day we should repost that video, right? And we should do that.
Yeah, well, you know what? You can use Hootsuite and you can just schedule it because I had too much time in my life to remember that day. So I think it was schedule and post now. It'll automatically come up every year for us. Boom.
Maybe I'll do that. Right? Boom. Here it is.
You know what? I would just create an account specifically for that to repost these Karens and these people out there regularly because they need to be seen. They need to be fired from their jobs. They need to be alienated. They need to be pushed back to the swamp in which they came.
No, and don't forget the girl who should have won the Emmy for her calling the police officer on the black bird watcher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All of them. We should post all of them, and we should just and they should just be that could be our part of educating folks, right, and reminding folks, not letting, like Diane said, keep the pressure on. Like, why'd you hire this person?
Right.
Why is this person working here? They shouldn't be. Oh, I know who you are. It is us, putting that scarlet letter on people. I like that idea. I may look into doing that, Diane.
Yeah, I know you're good at stuff like, look, your mind and my mind thinks a little bit alike sometimes. So, we were talking about this.
I got one. Real quick. That fool who stormed the Capitol and videotaped it, that they found out that he was actually an elected state official. Put him up there, too.
Well, I don't know. See, I'm kind of on the fence with these people that stormed the White House. And my thing is, they crazy, yes. But you know what? They stood up for themselves. They fought hard and said, this is what we want, and this is how we're going to get it. And they went for it. Us black folks are meek and meager and like, oh, we ain't doing that. You saw the one black guy that was standing in the chambers like, oh, shit, this ain't what I signed up for. But
he said these white people crazy.
So I'm kind of like elevating them to like, yeah, go, you did it. Because in the back of my head, I was also like, oh, yeah, they got the tear gas. Oh, they about to start falling off the wall.
None of that happened.
In fact, so that the poof of excitement dissipated. But I'm still like, I don't know if I want to applaud them or vilify them. I'm still on the fence with that right there because they really stood up for themselves. I mean, it's like going back to the Tea Party. No, not the Tea Party. Going back to Boston when they threw the tea overboard and was like, no representation, taxation.
No taxation without representation.
And I'm thinking like, we honestly, and we talked about this, Eric, for years on this show. We got to take back the government. It has to be blown up. It has to change. The whole spin of how it works is not working for black people.
But we also have to come to realization, and the event of them storming the Capitol and the event that happened in Black Lives Matter shows the hypocrisy in America and how they deal with black people. When we stand up with force, they are ready to meet that force with superior force.
Right.
Because they had the tanks, they had everybody out there was armed when they saw those black people up there. But when those white people came up there was not one armed guard sitting out there in front of the Capitol.
But see,
So,
this is the
you know what? Go ahead.
had inside help. And
True.
we're not thinking about. While they were able to do what they did, they were able to do it because they had somebody on the inside that was working for them to keep from pushing back against them.
That's right.
And that's right. We have to see the differences. We have to put people in there that says when we go to storm the house, they ain't gonna push back because they inside working with us on the back end side.
Right, but that's what I was saying yesterday when I was trying to differentiate white privilege and the corporation white supremacy. See, the corporation of white supremacy sets the stage, right, to allow those who have white privilege to go unscathed.
And that was true because they act like they had no fear of the guards that were there.
Right. You know, so and you know, and they didn't. You know, the National Guard came late, right? It's just, you know.
They drifted in.
Yeah, they just kind of.
Trump probably told the police, "Don't mess with them."
Yeah, all of that. So, Eric, am I looking at the right live? Where I see you have the book up there.
I do. Do you see that?
Yay!
That is the book. Wait a minute, Diane. You think I'm slipping?
No, I'm just, I be slipping. I'm multitasking over here. I'm working. I'm selling insurance. I'm talking to people on the phone. I got you on mute. I just want to make sure I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
I have like a large cup of mocha something in it, and I'm kind of hyped.
Yo, listen, I got all my gear together. You see, I got my Minding My Black-Owned Business mug. I got my ADOS apparel on. And I got the book that we're going to be reading on the thing. We got to get focused.
Can we get some ADOS?
Wait a minute. I'm going to hold. Hey, Diane, I'm going to hold this mug up, right? I want to take a screenshot once the mug is in view. We got to...
I see it, but you gotta hold it higher because your bookmarks at the bottom, you can't see it. So you gotta hold it like next to it.
No, I got it up now. I can see. You see it?
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute.
No, it's a delay here.
I'm gonna go up higher. There we go.
Jody Pittman says, did they stand up for themselves? Yeah, I see it now. Minding my black-owned business.
There we go. You got it? You got.
Did your daughter find out where she got those cups?
Yeah.
Just read our own.
All right. So, Jody Pittman asked, what question?
Did they stand up for themselves?
Stand up for themselves. And Chanel, can you hear us? Because she says Vincent and I are low, and that's probably because I'm moving back and forth.
Yeah, but I also moved you guys closer to the mic. Did they stand up for themselves? Of course they did. Their interests, right? The things that were important to them, they wanted to see enacted. Now, they were misguided in believing that somehow Biden was not going to be president, right? That somehow they were going to overturn the results of the election. They were misguided in that, but they came down there and did what they felt they needed to do, and look in the end. Right? Things are working. They're working slowly, but they're working, right? People are being arrested, right? People are being sought after now, right? The vote actually occurred. He was confirmed, right? So, things are, but they, like you said, Diane, they went for it. They said, hell, you know what? We, and like I said yesterday on our 4:00 show, Vincent, there were, and I don't want to sound like Donald Trump saying that there were fine people on both sides. That's not what I'm saying. But
no, he said he loves them.
No. No. There were people. I believe that there were people genuinely, misguided or not, felt that they were disenfranchised. And they went for that. They didn't go to break stuff. They didn't go to riot. They didn't go. They were a group of people that just felt that they were disenfranchised, misguided, whatever you want to call it, right? Then in there,
they said on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. They were lied to, and being staying in the true fashion of using the right words. They weren't misguided. They were lied to. He lied and told them, "Come down here so we could change this around."
Oh no, he lied. They were misguided. Yeah, he lied to them. They were misguided. Then you had some people who said, you know what? We're going to take this opportunity, like Jody Pittman always says, right? We're going to take this opportunity. This guy, right, has plowed the way for us to be emboldened to go down there and to tear shit up, right? So you had that group of people who did that too, right? I want to separate those people, right, and say that those people are criminals. Those people, those other people who were lied to, who believed that the elections were whatever, hopefully they realize now, or they'll realize at some point that he lied.
Well, let's look at how they validated the lie. First of all, they brought up Rudy Giuliani. He is the chief or the leader of the gang that can't sue straight. And then he brought up this guy who was supposed to be the solid witness of how they stole or how they cheated in the Georgia election that they want to overturn, and that and then Trump came up there and expressed that we're going down there and I'm going with you. So now they had their leader to take them into battle. Lied, misguided, and here's the worst thing about it. Fox, CNN, and MSNBC all showed a lot of interviews of those people involved. And all of them stated that, they were either a patriot, trying to take back the country, trying to right the wrong, or that they were from QAnon, another conspiracy lying group.
Yeah. Call it go.
People.
So let's not glorify them in any way. There were no good people there.
I'm not gonna say that.
May have been misguided, but they were misguided to believe that the black vote was illegitimate. I'm not letting that go, Eric. I'm not letting it go.
Yeah, I can't. I don't. Right? Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say.
Right? Yeah. Misguided is one thing, right? But so let's say I tell you that the sky is blue, right? And or some other crazy conspiracy, right? For you to adopt it as in your person, or as your person, or as your philosophy, is to say that you agree with that conspiracy, right? There were no good people there.
Yeah, that's
all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that because I'm, like I said to you before, right? I've been in elections for a long time. And I know, and all you have to do is go look at the jail, records, and you'll see in Essex County the number of people who went to jail, right, for campaign fraud and other kinds of things. So, for somebody who's less knowledgeable, right, but they've heard in their community how intimidation, voter intimidation, and dead people voting, and they get these pieces of information, right? And then you have a guy who just blatantly lies to them. So it's coming from the top that says, hey, all the things that you may have heard about in your own community happening, right? This thing has happened on a larger scale. I'm saying some of those people are just saying, yo, listen, I know that this happens. I know that it's happened. And now somebody's telling me that it's happened. I want to get to it. I don't think that all of them, and they wanted their guy to win, for sure.
I would only agree with you, right, if it was too specific, right? It wasn't that they're, in Wisconsin, or let's say Michigan. In Michigan, there's voter fraud, right? And give all your conspiracies. Then, okay, no. In Michigan, in Detroit, Michigan, where all the black people live, they cheat. Come on. Every lawsuit that was filed by the Trump administration was specific. It wasn't like, hey, in the state of New Jersey, they cheat and they do.
No,
I didn't
right.
even go there. But in the state of New Jersey, they cheat. No, it would have been in the state of New Jersey, in North alone. We want those ballots thrown out because Negroes cheat.
No, 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 no. No, listen. So what I'm saying is this. I'm not. I don't know that they're saying. I mean, they may. I don't. Look, I'm saying not all of them.
I researched
Look,
this. Every lawsuit.
I'm not
was
saying
just
Jody.
slavery.
Jody.
Every lawsuit that they filed were counties of color. They filed them against counties of color.
Yes, they did.
I'm not suggesting that they didn't.
Specifically.
But Jody, I'm not. Listen, I'm not suggesting that they didn't. But what I'll say to you is this: that I can tell you personally, and I hate to use the anecdotal stuff, but in elections that I've worked in, for all the years that I've worked in them, we've always questioned votes coming out of senior buildings. Always, always, always. Wait a minute. Let me finish. Always, because of how the machine manipulates them. Right? Not necessarily the senior. I'm not looking at that senior and going, "Oh, that senior cheated." I'm saying the machine, the way that the machine operates, it cheats. See, so I'm not saying that in all cases those people, the people, I'm not talking about Trump and his people. I'm just talking about some individuals who look and go, "Yeah, you know what? The machine, the political apparatus cheats." See, and if they're relying on votes from that community, not the community cheats, but the apparatus cheats. That's what I'm saying. So I'm separating those. I'm not saying that they say black people went and did whatever. I'm saying that they say the machine cheats in those communities.
I'm sticking to it, and you had me stick to it. Listen, they the devil. They the devil. Listen, I feel like there's a black woman that they did this to this black woman. There's a black woman who owned a pocketbook stand inside of a mall. This really happened. Per Trump. This is crazy. She had a kiosk in the middle of the mall. She sold pocketbooks. Do you know that Trump said and called her name out? Like someone in QAnon said that woman was using those pocketbooks to bring in ballots that were illegitimate. When it was all done and said, she lost her business. She didn't even know what was going on. She just was a woman that had a business selling pocketbooks, making a living. And when Trump and his friends were done with her, she was out of the mall. She was down and afraid to come out of her house. They were the devil. All of those people scaling those walls. All of those people, because what they're reporting now is this large underground, but on top of the internet space, that these conversations were going for weeks on end. They were very racially motivated, and they were ugly, and I'm not giving anyone in that crowd 2 cents of consideration.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know how she feels, because when they targeted me with a lion in the window, I had at that particular time, the 5th largest distribution of Christian content, going to TBS, CBN, and a few other networks. But when the allegations came out, that business was over in 2 days. So yes, they do that. They target people.
I'm not suggesting. Listen, I'm
they
not suggesting they don't
because of their success.
Because
of their fear of
I'm not suggesting they don't target people, and I think that is horrible. But again, what I'm saying to you is this: I know, for instance, in the 2016 race, right? There were all kinds of allegations that were coming from Bernie Sanders' campaign as well as other campaigns about cheating, about the Democratic Party cheating. So what I'm saying to you is this: that if in 2016 within the Democratic Party, you had somebody as high ranking as Bernie Sanders talking about the Democratic Party cheating, why then wouldn't people say, hey, the Democratic Party, they're cheaters? Why would we expect that they wouldn't continue to say that?
Let's look at the Truth in Voting group, how they get by the actual right of Freedom of Information Act. They go and they found out, they talked to Obama of all they had, and they showed Obama where they were cheating him out of 3 million votes. Obama showed him what he had. He said, no, I'm cheated out of 7 million votes. You haven't even reached half of what they're actually stealing from me.
Right, but my point to you is this, right? So you're making, so we have evidence, right, that the apparatus cheats.
Yes.
Right.
Now, but this is where the change came for the 2020 election. Trump sent the dog whistles out.
No, I get that. No. I don't want to rehash that. I understand that. And I'm saying, yeah, that was dead wrong. Absolutely. And those people who participated in the insurrection, in the rioting, in the...
No, Eric, that's not where I was going.
Go ahead.
In the 2020 election, before the election, Trump put out that he was going to be cheated. And that gave alert and alarm to every governor to make sure that everything was done by the book and properly.
Right, okay.
Everything. There was
Wait a minute.
one
So
state that he went to where he found this mass conspiracy of cheating.
no, look. I'm not saying that he was cheated. I'm not saying necessarily that there was cheating here. I'm saying that there has been cheating in the past. And
I agree.
Right. And if there's been cheating in the past, and this is why I said misguided, right? Because they were lied to. So if there was cheating in the past, and you have, and so for some of these people who've lived through it and saw it, they go, wait a minute, people cheat? They cheat. Right? And so now this guy is saying that they cheated. I just want to know if they cheated. I'm saying that there were people who did that. I'm not going to talk about the percentage of people who did it. I'm just saying I don't want to lump whoever those people who were there for that. I don't want to lump them into. So if you were there for this other thing and you were getting lumped into this, Eric's not lumping you into that. I want to identify all of the people who behave criminally, all those people who, like Jody said, were there to disenfranchise black votes, right? All of those people, yeah, I want to identify you and put you over here. And if you were there for this other thing, then you had a right to ask the question. Was it cheated? And then when you get the answer, you now have the answer.
So let me ask you this question, Eric. Because this is what we know, factually about that moment, right? That the people who are following whatever, right? We said following, believing this guy, believing that, right?
Right.
So the people that are engrossed in social media or engrossed in mass media, right? And so at the very least, those people who were not the insurrectionists or whatever, those people that just went, they knew at minimum what they were going to fight for. We do know that, right? We know that because these are people that were led to a state, right? So they knew at the base minimum what they were going for, what the fight was. That the fight was that, and not just the votes, right? That there's time for a civil war. We want this man to remain in office, right? We want this man with all of him, all that he's done, that he's a misogynist and he's a racist and he's a race baiter and all of that, right? So if it were you, if that was the black man who was talking crazy, just and being crazy for to be so cognizant of the moment, right? That we have to question it all the way down to that basic. That's why I said yesterday the foundation of what they were going for says that those are not good people, right? Who would do that? Who would follow that madman anywhere? Who would follow his messaging anywhere, right? Listen, when the election came, you were right. You said that not everyone that voted for Donald Trump voted for Donald Trump because they were racist or misogynist. Some of them did it because financially he was going to help them to a better place. So they pushed the leverage for policy as opposed to rhetoric and all the other stuff. Just that this guy is promoting my interests, right?
Right.
Those weren't those people on that lawn. Those were not those people at the Capitol. People at the Capitol were there to say, overturn this election because it's fraudulent. And once you say that they were there for that reason, then all of that other myth, all that mess that's mixed up in that, they bought that. Those were not good people. Maybe they weren't brave enough, but it was only some brave souls that was willing to bust a window or climb up on a wall, right? Some of them just stood out and screamed the massive mess, right? But they were there. They were there for that reason. And so how can we give them a pass on being good people or there because they were? That's why when Diane said it, I said, were they really like? Are we gonna like give them kudos for being there? We can't give anyone kudos for being on that lawn. I don't feel like that.
How do we give them a pass and say that they were good people when the NFL, the African Americans and the people of color in the NFL and some white allies took a knee? Trump said, get rid of all of them SOBs. Yet these people storm our national treasure and try to disrupt and try to.
What is that? I don't know. I don't understand that.
Good people. No, they are terrorists.
No. See, no.
They are treasonous terrorists, and they all need to be
Right.
locked up,
Right.
having a swift trial followed by a swift execution.
Vincent, okay, stop the hyperbole, please. So the person who's on the lawn needs to be locked up for treason? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying the person who was in the Capitol.
Oh, no, right. So,
that were in the
got
Capitol.
that. I got that. So, yes, all of those people, the people who stormed the building, the people who trespassed, the people who vandalized, the people who threatened, the people who did all of those things. Yep, that's what I'm saying. I want to put those people in a category, right? Take all those people, put them in a category. And then after you take those people, put them in that category, then where are you putting all of the other people?
Let's see. You mean the other people who stood at the lawn?
Yeah.
Well, let's put them in the same category.
Really?
Yeah. Let's
Really?
put them there. Let's put them there.
They're all in the garbage, Eric. Everybody.
Really?
There you go.
Yeah.
There
Wow.
you go.
Wow.
There you go. Tell them, Jody.
Yeah. I'm not.
Because you want to sit up here and give them a level of grace. You want to give them a pass. You want to give them.
Well, no.
understanding
What?
forgiveness.
Right.
And not
Right.
bring them
Right.
up
But I'm
with
just. Yeah.
SOBs
No.
who's giving it
No.
to you if you were there.
No. Right. But what I don't want to do is
And that one dude that was in the chamber, the black dude.
right.
Oh,
But
him? He's sitting up there talking about, oh, dang, they ain't taking a knee?
I was just teasing.
yeah. No. I wanna say that in America, people have a right to disagree. They have a right to disagree. In
We
America,
do it all the time on this show. I love it.
in America, and we talked about this yesterday, that the way that the Constitution is set up, the way that the governmental institution is set up, is that people can object to, can make objections and arguments to the results. After which point there is a vote, right, to confirm, right, and all of that happened. And you can have constituents of those senators come down and support their senators' willingness to object, right, and to argue. You can do that.
So let's go to the constitutional right of the First Amendment, freedom of speech and freedom of protest. Now, it says, and I am paraphrasing, so all of the fact checkers, please stop. Don't put in the thread that I got it wrong on a couple of letters. But it does say the right for peaceful assembly.
Right. So wait a minute. Stop for a second.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people there, the majority. Would you disagree with me that the majority was peaceful?
No,
Wait,
I would not agree.
Wait a minute. How many? Wait. Okay, so wait a minute. And I'm going to go down this rabbit hole with you for 2 seconds. How many tens of thousands of people were there?
That's why I can't agree on the majority, because I do not have the number.
Right. But we know that tens of thousands of people were there, right? Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Okay. How many people, what percentage of the tens of thousands do you believe stormed the Capitol?
I cannot tell you.
Right, no.
That's why I
Wait,
cannot
no.
agree
So I'm
with
gonna ask you a question. Do you think, because tens of thousands we say were there. So if
you.
wait a minute.
No, 10,000 people can't fit in there.
Okay, no. Can't fit where?
He means there, Vincent,
At the event. Tens of thousands of people were at the event. Wait, no, Vincent. Vincent, don't get ahead of me. Vincent, don't get ahead of me for the sake of trying to prove your argument. So just listen to me, right? So if tens of thousands were there, right? Even if we say 20% of those tens of thousands stormed the Capitol, that wouldn't be true, because to your point, they couldn't fit, right?
I agree.
So when I ask you the question, the majority assembled peacefully. We may disagree with why they were there, right? So to Jody's point, their motive for being there, according to Jody's argument, was that they wanted to disenfranchise the black vote. Okay, fine.
No.
But wait a minute,
Eric, this is what kills that particular point in the argument. At the rally and campaign, the senator got up there and told them, now let's go down to the Capitol and kick some A. Now, they didn't go down to the Capitol for a peaceful assembly.
No, but my question is, so some of them...
Those tens of thousands of people went there with the express purpose of causing havoc.
No. Wait a minute, Vincent. So some of them took literally what they said at the rally, and they went down there and they did exactly that, right? They busted windows, right? They breached the compound. They did all of that. But I'm saying not the majority. Not the majority, Vincent. And the fact that you literally... So here's where I am. I want to stop this, because this is fucking insane. So you won't even acknowledge... Wait a minute. You won't even acknowledge that the majority didn't go in there. Are you kidding me? I'm asking you a very simple... The majority did not do that.
Something in support of what I was saying?
The majority... Vincent. The majority. That means most of them didn't do it. That's all majority means. And the fact that you can't concede that point is crazy to me.
No, Eric, I said, based on that hypothesis, I agree with that point. That was 10 minutes ago.
Okay. So now, wait a minute. Let me finish. If you agree with that point, so I'm saying peaceful assembly, right? For those who assemble peacefully, even if we disagree with them, right? They had a right to be there. And I'm just saying, and the ones, and wait a minute, and you, as a former military guy, you defended their right to be there. Right? Right?
No.
You defended, of course you did.
Okay, now, can I go now, or are you finished?
No, I'm not.
Okay, go ahead.
Right? So you defended the Constitution, which includes the right to assemble. So you defended
assembly.
Right. And I'm saying the majority peacefully assembled. So you defended their right to peacefully assemble. Now, the other ones who did not peacefully assemble, that's the other bucket I'm talking about. then yes, rain all hell down on them.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
Are you done?
Yep.
Okay. Now let's look at the actual situation.
I
And
saw the
let's take it-
situation.
Let's take it in the partiality in which you had expressed the narrative. First and foremost, before they went down there, they were at the quote-unquote peaceful semblance, in which they were giving three things. One, false information of why they're going down there to storm it. Two, giving the delusion that their leader will be with them while they take over the Capitol.
What does that have to do with
And
anything?
No, please let me finish now. And three, given the charge of let's get down there and kick some eggs.
Well, we already talked about that.
No, Eric, let me finish.
But you already said it.
Let me finish.
Again?
Point two. Because I had to reiterate that to bring it to point two, because I wasn't able to finish it when you started that other part. So now, point two, case law, United States case law, and I'll date back to the actual event. Big Dan's bar, where everyone was charged with rape, even though 4 guys gang raped 1 woman. Why? Because they were there, and 2, they did nothing to stop the act.
Stop it, Vincent.
And cheer it on. So even those people, quote unquote, who could not fit into the Capitol, went there with the intent of fitting into the Capitol.
No, you can't. No, you can't say that, Vincent.
Therefore, they could not fit in there.
Vincent.
The other one's on.
Wait a minute. So Jody, I'm gonna ask you this question: are you willing to take that leap with Vincent? That everybody who went there went with the intent to break windows and to go into the Capitol. They just couldn't fit.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Thank you, Jody. I was getting ready.
And I'm going to redefine my position. My position is they're all my enemies.
Got it. I appreciate that.
I'm not even going to go beyond that.
I appreciate that.
It's my enemy. And yeah, because I listen to you and Vincent go back and forth, and I'm not trying to like go into a rabbit hole with it. I'm just saying that in my mind, those people are my enemy. They mean me.
They didn't have your best. They didn't have your best interest at heart.
Absolutely.
Got it. I got that.
Add to what Jody said. They are my enemies too, because they mean to deter my rights.
Right, but that's different than everything else you said before this. That's different.
It's no different, Eric.
Yes, it
I'm
is.
saying this.
I heard what you said.
What is the cliche about one bad apple?
I heard what you said. But
Okay.
yeah, okay. See, because if I don't stay true to this argument, right? Then like the conversation we were having yesterday, and I appreciate Joel's agreement on it, then I can't argue the whole BLM thing when you have bad actors there, right? I can't say, you know what, those bad actors, I'm going to create this separation and say those people, they burned stuff down, they rioted, they stole flat screen TVs, but these people went there for a peaceful assembly to just try to resolve something that was in their best interest, whether I agree with them or not.
Yet it did give a black eye to those doing the peaceful.
I'm not
assembly.
suggesting it didn't. See, you're missing. I'm not suggesting it didn't. I'm saying that I just want to create these different buckets so that it doesn't give a black eye to the people who were there for a peaceful assemblage, even if I disagree with why they were there. And so for Jody, to Jody's point.
What I don't understand though is when it was this summer and it was Black Lives Matter, we were just like dumb. They're not doing anything. Paint on streets mean nothing. But today we want to give those kudos.
No, I'm not giving them. No, I'm not. I haven't given anybody kudos. All I'm saying is they had it. All I'm.
I'm on the edge. They stood up for themselves, but so did those. Listen, not 20,000, 10 to 20,000 on the lawn of the Capitol, but all across this world, in countries, people stood up. That was the biggest protest, not a riot, that we saw during the summertime. But we were hard on those Black Lives Matter people. We said they ain't doing nothing. It don't mean
right?
nothing.
And so, and I'm right, but I'm explaining to you, but I'm
That group right there.
Jody, but Jody, I'm gonna explain to
Okay.
you why. Wait a minute, Vincent, you heard me. I'm explaining to you why, Jody,
Okay.
because the people who showed up. So now let's go back to white privilege and white supremacy, right? So the people who showed up on the lawn to protest in their best interest, right? They have an infrastructure, right, to support them. I'm saying
What's the infrastructure?
the corporation white supremacy.
Okay.
Okay, right? So now,
I just want to.
no, that's okay. So now, them showing up to do what they did, they fully expected results because, which is why I said they have the white privilege, right? Because they went there fully expecting, 1, not to be arrested, 2, not to be shot, 3, not to be tased, and 4, to have the thing be overturned. They fully expected that because of the corporation white supremacy, right? And how it's operated. Now, for Black Lives,
I agree with that.
now, for the Black Lives Matter people, right? They showed up. They have no infrastructure, right? They have nothing. They have absolutely nothing. And so
I disagree.
That's because you don't follow. That's because you don't consider the infrastructure of Black Lives Matter legitimate.
no, I'm saying they have no, listen, Jody, I'm saying that they don't have I'm gonna quote paraphrase out of The Godfather. They don't have so many politicians and judges in their pockets like the nickels and dimes that
He has as many politicians and judges in his pocket like he has nickels and dimes in his pocket.
right. But I'm saying that Black Lives Matters don't. Right? The corporation white supremacy does. And so because the corporation white supremacy does, there's a full expectation that these things that they're pushing for will happen. So when I say, okay, so you did the marching, you did the whatever, but until you have these politicians and judges in your pockets like so many nickels and dimes that the Don has in his pocket, you're not going to accomplish anything. You're going to get streets that have Black Lives Matter painted on them where Black Lives don't matter. You might get a couple more streets with name signs on it, but you get no policy changes.
Okay, now, Eric, if I could, let me quote the woman that we had, the chairperson of the Black Lives Matter. Yesterday, she stated, Black Lives Matter has an infrastructure. Black Lives Matter, and a majority of them were former members and still members of the Black Panther Party, and infrastructure. They do have attorneys who got them bail and got their cases dismissed or removed. They have made a solid impact on the community. They went there, Black Lives Matter, with the express purpose of peacefully protesting their disdain for police officers shooting black people and getting away with it. That's a big difference from people protesting violently their disdain for black people standing up, getting off their butt, standing up for themselves, and getting out to vote to make change.
Right, and again,
that's a day and night.
Right, and again,
and to glorify them, and to glorify one for standing up for their misconstrued rights, and vilify another for standing up for their rights of human decency and equal justice is an apple and an orange.
So who's glorifying and who's vilifying? You just use those words. Who's
Are we not glorifying these?
No, wait a minute. I'm asking you. You use
their rights of being privileged versus standing up for people who have not getting their rights of being American citizens.
Right. So you use the word glorifying, right? And so I am acknowledging that people have a right to peaceful assembly. That's not glorifying.
But the whole key is what you said. They did not peacefully assemble.
So, okay.
Not at the Capitol building.
Right. So I'm saying to you that I'm back to what I said to you before. The majority did. And so for the majority that did, I am simply defending their right to peacefully assemble. For the ones who didn't, for the ones who did not peacefully assemble, right? I'm saying that go ahead and rain hell down on them. But where at all am I glorified? See, I don't want to engage in hyperbole. So when you give the impression that I'm somehow glorifying this, right? I'm saying you're not hearing me, or you just want to create an adversarial conversation, right? I'm not saying I'm glorifying it. I'm saying I'm acknowledging their right to peacefully assemble. And what you're saying is that zero of them peacefully assembled, and I'm saying that's just not a true statement.
Now, where I'm saying they zeroly peaceful assembled because they went to the Capitol. They went to the Capitol with an intent and purpose to not peaceful assemble, to take over, and to put Trump in power. That's a huge difference in standing up and saying that it's wrong for in our country that black men and black women get killed by police officers and nothing happens to them. Nothing happens to the people who kill them.
Yeah, I don't know what you're conflating.
Now, hold up. And to add to your point, okay, yes, there were some people who were there who were just observers and took pictures and all that other great stuff. But there were other people. But that was a very few group, very small group. The majority of them went there with the intent of taking over. It was a coup, Eric. Every person involved who arms themselves or assembles with the express purpose of taking over our government is not right, even though they did not get into the Capitol building. They are just as wrong as those who were there, who were in the building. They have the same level of culpability.
So
You will not give culpability to Donald Trump. You want to spread it to everybody else when he was the sole person who called the dog whistles. You will not give culpability to those do-nothing Democrats. Or you want to give the culpability to the do-nothing Democrats, especially our local ones who have very little influence that happens nationally to the events that's happening with our coronavirus. You will not give culpability to Donald Trump, who let this virus get in here, who did nothing with the virus until absolutely late, who did nothing in terms of the distribution, or very little in terms of the distribution to people who need this because of what, Eric? Why do you consistently defend these jackasses?
all right. Are you off your
I
soap?
don't get it.
I'm
off my soapbox.
Okay, you're off your soapbox now. Okay, so you threw a whole lot in there, right? So I guess you just need to get that off your chest. Um, so do you want me to deal with Donald Trump and the coronavirus? Do you want me to deal with the failings of the vaccines that are sitting? Wait a minute. The failings of you know how many vaccines are sitting places and people are not getting them right now? Has nothing to do with Donald Trump right now. They're vaccines and people. Wait a minute, Vincent. Wait a minute. I thought you were off. Wait a minute, Vincent. I thought you were off your I thought you were off. I thought you were off your soapbox. I'll let you go back on it.
No, but
Okay.
so you entered into the failings of the vaccine, which had nothing to do, in which I said the accountability that Trump needs with the distribution.
No. So let me know when you're off your soapbox. See, I sat and I'll sit patiently.
I'll get on my soap opera after this.
I'll let you.
12-second point.
It won't be 12 seconds, but go ahead.
The vaccines are left sitting because once they defrost, they are no longer good. So if they are not used that day, they have to be discarded. That's why everybody now has a sign up. If they have additional, they will call people in to take it.
Okay, are you done? I'll let you go, and then I'll talk. Right. So
I'm done.
right. So I said, because you jumped subjects, because I guess you want to rail on Donald Trump now. So we'll leave the other thing and we'll move to this with the vaccine. What I said to you about the vaccine, what I said about Donald Trump is this: blame him for everything you want to blame him for. I'm not gonna defend the guy. Yeah, he lied. Yep, he covered it up. Yep, he said he didn't want people to know about it because he wanted to protect the economy. Yep, he tried to blame China. Yep, he did I get all of that. All of it. I'm saying right now, in January, right, in New Jersey, in other states, they haven't figured out, the governors haven't figured out how to get these people tests, how to get these people vaccines in these states. So I'm saying to you, give it all to Donald Trump. But now at some point, Vincent, we got to look and go, well, what's happening in these states? What's happening in these cities? That's all I've ever said. And so you don't want to acknowledge these other things, right? So right now, yesterday, over 4,000 people died. They said it was the highest number of deaths in one day, right? 4,000 people died. I'm looking going, well, okay, I understand Donald Trump pushed the ball down the snowball down the hill, right? So gathering snow, right? But I'm saying in these individual states, in these municipalities, what are they doing? And at what point should we hold them accountable? Right now in January.
What we hold them accountable is this. We hold them accountable for things which are in their lane.
What? No, I need you to be more specific.
No. Ask the question, let me answer.
No, but you're not. No, I want you to be specific, not general. What's in their lane?
Be specific.
Well, tell me.
What is in their lane?
Yep.
Here is the big thing that is happening.
See, now here you go. You're not going to answer my question. Answer my question. What specifically? Go ahead.
What specifically is holding up our states, our counties, and our local municipalities is one particular thing. Now, Operation Warp Speed.
Okay, you didn't answer my question. You're not answering my question.
Because I know you, and when I get specific, it goes into a rabbit hole. So let me give you this with a level of clarity so you can go to the next interruption.
But I don't. I'm asking you very specifically. Is there anything? Listen. No. Listen. No. I'm gonna trim my question down. Is there anything specific in January right now that Phil Murphy is responsible for?
Specifically right now that Phil Murphy is responsible for, he has done. He has gotten spaces available for the massive vaccination once they get through with the actual wave and get it to every citizen. Phil Murphy is responsible for the health and welfare, for the members and residents.
You know, you're not answering the question I asked you, Vincent. I'm saying, Vincent, you're not answering my question. Vincent, you're not answering my question. Is there any culpability? Is there anything that he is responsible for in terms of the infections and deaths and inability to get vaccinated in New Jersey? Is there anything that you hang on his doorstep?
There is nothing that I would hang on his.
Okay, let's move on to New York now. Wait a minute. Let's move to New York. Is there anything that you would hang on Cuomo's doorstep in terms of his accountability and responsibility for increased deaths, increased infections, inability to get vaccinations and tests? Anything.
Let's take this a little step further. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, those governors in which I do follow closely and what they're doing, they do not have a level of culpability in terms of getting vaccinations. They do not have culpability in terms of this infection that is spreading because legally they have done above and beyond. And in some cases, what they've done has been overreach in terms of other states that are Trumplicans.
Wow.
Would you ask me, Eric? Ask me.
Jody, can I tell you? I can see you. Wait a minute. I can see Jody through the screen going, "Ooh, me, pick me." So, wait a minute. So here we go. Wait a minute. Jody, is there anything that these governors should be held accountable and responsible for in terms of the increased deaths, the lack of testing, the lack of vaccinations and such.
You're asking me about, I want to be specific. We on Phil Murphy right now?
Yep.
Yes, because just like those people sitting on that lawn, he poisoned the people in North with water and didn't do nothing about dirty water. He's just my enemy. He do everything wrong. He does everything against the people. He is a misfit of the governor, right? And so I don't know why Vincent won't accept this, but because we know who that person is, the foundation of who that person is, we can't have no expectations that he's ever going to do the right thing, especially when it is raging through black communities, right? And he'll feed you dirty water. You know he ain't going to give you a vaccination, right? You know he's not going to put you on the list or as a priority for that vaccination. And that was my fun answer to just say that some people I feel like are just the enemy of our community, and so we should just, pin them that way and leave it. But at the end of the day, listen, you gotta blame him. Donald Trump is not in New Jersey. He is not in New York. It is their job to make sure that they do what is best for the people of New York, not play what Eric talked about last week about how some people are, I think Diane brought up the story about someone who was given vaccinations to their family and friends, and so in that community, the other people didn't get vaccinated, right? That's happening, and it is the leadership by state, not by federal government, that is allowing those things to happen. So, Eric, I agree with you,
Yeah. So I'm saying give him all of that stuff, man. I look, I'll jump on his neck with you, but I want you to jump on Cuomo's neck with me. I want you to jump on Murphy's neck with me, and you're reluctant to do that.
No. Eric,
Yeah.
I will jump on their neck when I feel and find or evidence is presented in me that they are doing something which endangers the welfare of their people. So far, they were the leads because we were the first epic center. They were the lead in terms of fighting each other and competing with each other to get masks and PPEs. They were the lead in terms of pleading to Donald Trump to give them the ventilators that they needed. They were the lead in terms of turning buildings and military facilities into hospitals to treat these people. They were the lead in terms of begging Trump for funding that he gives to these Republican states so that they can help fight it. So no, I don't have that level with them. They did not sit up here and say that, this virus is going away, it's going away, it's fake news, it's the Democrats trying to ruin my reputation. No, we need to open the economy. Don't close your schools.
Hey, Jody, didn't he sound like Stephen Colbert?
Oh my God!
Thank you. I've been working on that.
Oh, he sounded like Stephen Colbert. Anyway, we are. Yeah, look, I am thrilled right now, and I could only right now is probably one of the biggest times in a long time that I miss my dad. Cause I would kill to know what he would say about everything that's happening right now. Um, we said this in the beginning of Donald Trump. I remember having Malik Zulu Shabazz on the show, and I'm gonna have him on again. He he authored a book, and I think he wants to come on and talk about it. But we talked about how in the end Donald Trump has the potential to be good for, and all of the bad that he did has the potential to be good for Black America, in that it could jar us, right? Wake us up to understand some things that we have been reluctant to understand. And
I agree with that.
right, and I think that that the opportunity is certainly here. I'm just looking for the indicators that would suggest to me that we're taking advantage of it. But I think that this is a pivotal moment in the history for Black Americans, and I think that if we don't seize it, it's going to be
Yep.
generations. If they could put Black people back to sleep after this, whew, what will it take to wake us up again?
Another Donald Trump.
No, but the next one in this, because the system, like I said, the
The
system
next one comes greater.
the
Yes.
system re-engineers itself, right? So right now, the system is working to, like that glitch in the Matrix. This was a glitch in the Matrix, right? And the architect, the corporation white supremacy, right, is working to correct it, perfect it,
Right.
right now, perfect it.
Yep.
And what are we doing, to combat that? That's the great question.
I believe that the corporation of white supremacy does very little in terms of perfecting their technique, but they do expend a lot of money, time, and energy in changing the rules. Every time we overcome a hurdle, they raise the bar. Every time. Now, since it got to the point where they cannot raise the bar, we play by the rules, and now we have a president who has said that Black people have my back and I'll have yours. Now that we have stood up, came out and voted and elected two for the first time Democrats in the redneck state of Georgia, a Jew and a Black man. Now they are looking to figure out how to change the rules. But this is one thing that is in our favor. Now that we do have the position to make an effective change, let us take full advantage of it.
So let me ask you this question, Vincent. What what do you want to see, or what do you need to see, if anything, in these first 100 days to determine whether or not Biden is full of crap or not?
What will affirm Biden in terms of the next 100 days is what he puts in motion.
No, but I'm asking you specific.
His ability to either hold his promises,
Right, but I'm saying in the first 100 days, right? Because you read that.
Did his 100-day plan. And we talked about this on the show.
No. He did the plan, but I'm saying that within the 100 days, right? So, yeah, within the 100 days, what is it? Because you read his plan on his website.
And Diane eloquently pointed it out.
Right, but I'm saying within the 100 days, what things in there do you need to see actually move? Because now, right now, he's got the House and he's got the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
So in his first 100 days, out of all that you read in that plan, what things would you say have to be done?
Listen, if he gets 50% of his 100-day plan, I'm happy. If he gets 75% of his 100-day plan, I'm ecstatic. If he gets 100% of his 100-day plan, I'm putting him in to have him and Barack Obama put on Mount Rushmore.
Okay, what if he gets 30%?
Then I'm going. Then I may.
Has nothing to do with you.
True.
What if he gets? What if he does 50%, but the 50% doesn't effectuate change in the Black community?
And the infrastructure is actually the second thing on his plan, but because we already have economics, the problem that we have right now with our economy is the simple fact that everybody is getting sick. So I like that. But no. Let me answer your question. Okay, but if he gets those percentages, like I said, if he does it and it does not, and the 100-day plan does the effective change, because we are in there. If we don't see any of that movement for people of color like he promised, then I will start to look with the side eye. I will start to maybe even agreeing with some of the things that Eric has been saying about him. And if we do not reach it by his election, then I will therefore start supporting someone who will do it. Now, if a Republican comes up there talking about he wants to change things with Black people and he's got a plan, I might start looking. But until then, I am giving him the benefit of the doubt. I am giving him a chance to do what he said.
Right. So listen. So here we go. Because Mark asked the question, what is Biden's 100-day plan? I'm going to post this link that I found real quickly. I'll post it after the show. But it says right here, it says, President-elect Biden will take office in January, blah, 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 blah. Biden ran a heavily policy-focused campaign, releasing dozens of lengthy and ambitious plans ranging from large-scale economic and environmental initiatives to broad action on racial justice, education, and healthcare. A significant amount of Biden's agenda also centers on reversing or updating positions taken by Trump's administration, especially on immigration and foreign policy. Right? Biden heads into office with strategies to address the COVID-19 crisis and the search for a vaccine as well. Right? We have vaccine. But the sheer volume of Biden's plan could make it a challenge to execute them all. On immigration alone, he has proposed more than a dozen initiatives to complete within 100 days of taking office. So to Jody's point, right, when we talk about all of the different things that he wants to do, where will initiatives that impact Black people fall? So yeah, if he's saying he's got more than a dozen initiatives just on immigration, right? And then you talk about what he wants to do in terms of education and COVID, right? In all of those different areas, we have to. Would you agree, Vincent? We have to see the needle moving in the Black community.
I agree that those initiatives are in theory has a level that can move the needle of Black America.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I'm saying specifically. He said, I'm gonna quote you. He said, "You had my back. Now I'm gonna have yours." So I'm saying, in having my back, when you look through all of these initiatives, how do they have my back? And so we should be able to clearly identify and see the impact in 100 days.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I'm saying, so my question to you is,
if we get Mitch's $2,000.
So my question to you, so they're going to blame it on Mitch. So see,
Mitch is gone now.
Right. There we go. So what I'm saying to you is this. That what will be, because I want to track this, Vincent, from the time he's inaugurated. I want to track this with you, right? So I want to get you on record in some way of saying, here are my expectations of him toward the Black community, right? And here's how we're going to measure it so that we can show up on the show and go, strike one, or He hit that over the park, and this is why. Right?
Well,
So I don't want the target to be moving. I want to have a fixed target.
No. What you and I will do is Monday, if it's in your programming, is Monday we go over the list that we believe that we can agree upon has an impact on Black America.
Okay, I'm posting this in the thread.
What we will do is during the course of his 100-day, we will go down the list. How's that?
Right. So I just posted from NPR Biden's first 100 days. I posted that in the thread. So we can go through that. We can look at that. We'll unpack it next week, and then, we'll put together, because this is what we should be doing as a community, right? A people. We shouldn't just wait for him to give us something. We should be going, this is what we demand out of this.
That's right. I agree 100%
right?
with that.
Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to say on this show, this is what we demand, and we're going to see whether or not he fulfills it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, it is cold. It is cold outside. I wish I could go back to bed, but I
Hey,
can't.
Eric, I'm going to hold on to the line because I'm going to tell you something about my delivery, okay?
Oh, cool beans. So thank you guys for tuning in. Enjoy your weekend. Continue to wear your mask. The numbers are going up. They're saying the hospitals in California are starting to approach, capacity. So just be careful, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on Monday.